What up guys, today we're going to be reacting to a Fanjito's video called Goku vs. Cell with straight boxing. I love his videos, I love his style, I love just the idea and concept of his channel in general, where he basically goes throughout the fights throughout Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super and stuff, throughout the movies and the show. He's mainly done Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super, or I think the movies just in general. So those are mostly what he's done. I think he's gonna do a Dragon Ball one in the future at some point, because Dragon Ball had a lot of martial arts and hand-to-hand combat, fights, even more so than Dragon Ball Z did. Though Dragon Ball Z still has some pretty good hand-to-hand combat fights, which I feel like a lot of people, miss or undersell, because a lot of people are saying stuff like, oh, they're just powering up a lot or firing energy blast, and that is true. They do that far more when they got into the Z portion of Dragon Ball, but people, I feel like, forget, like, I don't know what happens to their minds when they see those explosions. They act like there was no hand-to-hand fighting in the fights at all, and it's just not true. And that's the one thing I like about his channel. He showcases the choreography of Dragon Ball fights, but also showcases why we love the fights. And sometimes he points out some of, he doesn't point out, but what from showing from his videos, it points out some of the BS and hypocrisy from the arguments that are being made, because people saying that there's no hand-to-hand fighting in Dragon Ball Z is ridiculous. There is, it's just not as much as Dragon Ball, and it's not as emphasized as much as in Dragon Ball because they have more energy attacks. But that does not mean there's no hand-to-hand in Dragon Ball Z. I think that's the gross over exaggeration by the fans, and they overdo it just so they can complain about why isn't Z like Dragon Ball. We should go back to the fighting. The only thing I think that's different between Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, besides the fact that there's more energy attacks in Dragon Ball Z, is the fact that in Dragon Ball they focus far more on the moves that they're doing than in Z, where Z they're doing it and we're just watching, and they're not carrying our hand around the fight itself and explaining to us what they're doing in every fight or what they're doing with every attack. Whereas in Dragon Ball, they were focusing more on each individual strike, not on all of them, but most of them. So yeah, let's get into it.
Goku versus Cell. Hey, people call this the most technical fight in DB history.
We will see.
Goku right here ain't slick. Dude turned to the side to show the jawline. Cell is gonna hit him with pure palm action. Then, whoop! The hair is going upwards as he's going downwards. Goku's gonna do a spinning kick all the way around. And just look at how smooth Cell is sliding underneath it. It's so elegant. This right here, I feel like there's some depth to it. I feel like right here, Cell is trying to sweep where Goku's gonna put his arm down. He's trying to break the arm. Just think about it. If I'm Goku right here, I'm putting my hand straight down. But no, like he puts it to the right. Also, just look at the way Goku's locked in right now. Either I'm tweaking or I think Cell was trying to break that arm and Goku saw it. Hold on. Whoop! He gonna try to elbow the traps. And get off me! Goku's gonna land and rush again. They gonna repeat the frames here a little. Cell, I did not know, threw out a kick here. And look at the way Goku blocked it. Then Cell is gonna reach out and stop the punch before it even comes out. Cell is gonna block again, two-handed as well. This next hit, I don't know. Like, it looks like it hits, but I don't think it did. Then they're gonna repeat the frames a little. Block the kick, grab the fist. But while he's falling, he kicks him. Goku rushes in again. Whoop! Let's look down on the guy for a little bit. Then you're gonna see a very underrated Cell moment. He's just gonna stand there looking like George Pickens on draft day. He's just waiting and damn, that's y'all goal right there getting the treatment. But don't worry, we're gonna break it down. Just look at the face. He's just staring at you. Grab the knee with the left. Still staring at the camera. High block. Excellent. He's covering the eyes momentarily, but I bet you he's still staring. Palm action again. Then they're gonna repeat the frames a little. And look at how he threw out this kick before Goku was even there. That's that mastery. That's themselves working. But
There's a reason why in the Matrix movies they did the thing with Neo when he activated his ability, and I think the first movie where he was fighting against Agent Smith, he was doing that. I'm pretty sure it came from Dragon Ball. From what I've heard, the Wachowski brothers, I'm pretty sure that's who made that movie. They also made the John Wick movies. They admitted that they watched anime and they took quite a bit of the inspiration from the fight, especially the second movie. I think it was Matrix Reloaded. They took it from Dragon Ball itself, like the flying and the back and forth stuff. So the reason why the movie did so good, especially the hand-to-hand combat, was because it kind of replicated a little bit of anime style and definitely Dragon Ball. And you can see it with the way he's blocking, casually just doing that. It just looks so cool. The way Dragon Ball emphasizes on, the strikes and the way it looks, and it's just phenomenal. And even though some of the frames where he's showing that their bodies looked a little sloppy, I don't really mind, because if you watch the actual show, it was just going in fast mode, so you wouldn't really notice it that much. But when you do frame by frame, you're going to sometimes catch some weird looking shots of these characters, kind of like in Naruto where you see in the Pain arc, everybody look goofy as hell. And there's a lot of other arcs in Naruto where they look a little bit goofy, but I think it's fine if it's them moving fast and fluid motion. That's fine. But if it's like, you know, like just a little bit frames or slow frames, or they're like barely moving, or the movement speed is barely that fast, then it needs to look good. If it looks bad, then it's just like, you know, bad art style or art drawing for whoever's drawing that episode or whatever. But when it's fast, I think it's fine. And even though I personally don't like the Cell saga that much, a lot of people love it. Personally, I kind of hate it. That's the only saga in Dragon Ball Z which I didn't really care for. I liked the, you know, Saiyan saga. I liked the Frieza saga. I didn't really like the Cell saga, especially the first half of the androids. I didn't care for the androids. Cell, a little bit, I liked some stuff, but I didn't like it as a whole. And I did like the Buu saga, even though a lot of people don't like it. But this fight in particular, I thought was great. I think this fight was infinitely better than Gohan's fight, because the first fight Gohan's against him, he does a little bit, but mostly he's getting bodied, and it's basically one-sided, and it's not even fun one-sided. It's just he's getting completely pummeled. And then when he goes into Super Saiyan 2, he's one-sided. It's a one-sided fight from him. He basically hits him with 2 shots, drops the hell out of this guy. Then he hits him with a Kamehameha, and it barely does that much. Like the fighting, there was barely that much in it because he just overwhelmed him so easily. So personally, I don't think Gohan versus Cell was as hyped. The fight itself, the moment was, the fight itself wasn't as hyped as Goku's fight against Cell, even though it wasn't emphasized as much.
But Goku's not giving up, though. He comes in and just pure after image. Goku's going to connect crisply to the body, and then he's going to start doing explosive workouts. Pushing the sled excellently. Almost took him out the ring. And look at that. Look at how cool he got up, though. Bell rushes in this time. Woo! Goku almost got his head sliced off. Look at how low he got. Goku's going to kick, but he doesn't get there. Nah, this part right here is crazy. Woo! Look at Goku leaning back. Yo, I'm leaning while recorded. That's crazy. He's just like me for real. Goku, woo! Come on, woo! Cell is just looking at the fist, just talking to it. Goku's gonna block this hit from Cell with his left. Then he's gonna... Okay, like, I don't even know what punch this is. Look at the crazy enhance, and I still couldn't get it. Again, I'm gonna explain exactly what this is. You're gonna see it later. Goku is again gonna lean back out of range. They're gonna repeat the frames, and then they're gonna show us a new sequence. Now, Cell is gonna block with the left. Then Goku's gonna block. Cell is gonna open up the body to dodge again. Then Goku's gonna block, bro. Excellent defense from both. Then they go repeat the frames a little. Then they're going to repeat the first sequence. Pause if you need to see it. This is just a zoomed in version of one of the previous blocks from Cell. Another zoomed in version of the same block. Now, woo! Every time he dodges, bro, it's just straight face staring at it. Then we're going to give a similar block. Then they're going to repeat the frames again. I'm telling you, every frame is getting broken down.
I do want to talk about that. Sorry for pausing a little bit early, but a lot of people do talk about Dragon Ball. They repeat a lot of frames, and I do get it. But remember, these shows, they need to pad it out for the manga and stuff, so you can't really give them too much crap for that. But I think any anime you watch, they have their own little thing that they do. Like, if you watch One Piece, because I've been watching like a bunch of episodes. The last time I watched it was in 2018, so I had to catch up with the Gear 5. So it was 5 years of storytelling that I went through, or nearly like 5 years. So it was a lot of, you know, episodes I had to watch. And one thing that I noticed when they did a lot of the fights is they do things where there's one fight that's happening, like let's say Luffy versus a big opponent, and then they switch over to somebody else. So that's how they kind of did their way to pad it out, because there's so many characters. So since there's a ton of Straw Hats, a bunch of the Straw Hats are fighting other opponents, so they go between back and forth between all these other fights. So that's how they minimize the time when it comes to fights like that. Or they do a thing when they sometimes they do the intermission, they go back like a minute or so for whatever reason, they replay all the way back again. So this is just to spend most of the time from the episode. So all these like animes have some way to save up their time or spend up the time in the fight instead of just purely making it fighting, because you can't just keep on making them do new things. It's kind of hard. And in Dragon Ball's case, it's a little bit more difficult, since usually, even though there's other side characters, mainly they focus more on the main characters like Goku and Vegeta. And usually these characters fight one-on-one, so they have one big threat and they usually fight them. Whereas One Piece, they have more of the leniency of jumping between multiple different characters because they have multiple different fights happening simultaneously. So you're not just focusing on one fight, so it's easier to, you know, have more choreography in that one, or newer choreography than in Dragon Ball, because there's multiple fights happening. And then you have Naruto, where they do a lot of flashbacks, so in the middle of it they go to a flashback or flashbacks, so they all have their own little setbacks on why the fights are a little bit like, you know, it's some things that help pad out the episodes so the fights aren't as good as you want it to be. So I know a lot of people give Dragon Ball crap for that, and I get it, but the other alternatives is just, you know, either them focusing on something else that has nothing to do with the fight at all, or them doing backstories. I'd rather have them repeat the frames than do stuff like that. And also, if you look into real fighting in general, not to make any excuses, but just as an, you know, argumentative point, in real fights, when you see people actually fighting like in MMA and stuff like that, a lot of these people do the same moves over and over again themselves. So it's not like, you know, when you see real fights that people are doing something different all the time. They're doing the same moves. A lot of fights like boxing or MMA or whatever, kickboxing, if you watch them, it's a lot of same repetitive moves. They do the same type of jab or cross or block. So they do the same moves over and over again. They do some changes, obviously, because they don't want to be repetitive, but they usually copy the same. So for them to have it in Dragon Ball where they repeat some of the frames, I don't think it's too bad, because, you know, even in a real fight, you're going to see that shit happening too.
3 times Cell dodge, he's looking at it, he's talking to him. Then they're gonna pop up in front of everybody. Hold on, Gohan. That hairline, you're not slick. The wind exposed you. That is crazy. And Goku's spamming, but no damage whatsoever. And this next part just tells you everything about this fight. Goku, straight face, and Cell just happy. They tussling. Get off me. Gonna teleport behind and hit this elbow right in the spine. Look at the bend. Yeah, after that, Cell is done. It's over. Goku's gonna dominate the fight. He's got the momentum. Unnecessary acting. That lightning right there is Goku, and now they're gonna start tussling in the dust. You know, you can see Goku trying to punch with the right, getting blocked by Cell, and Cell trying to kick here. You can't really see it. They're gonna repeat the frames later, so you're gonna see it. Goku does a similar kick and it's blocked. Now you can see the kick crisply, and Goku blocked that. Skip the repeated frame. Just look at the dots. Lift the arm up. But yeah, this frame is also repeated, but it was in the dust. You couldn't really know. Crazy kick, crazy punch, and now he's just gonna start spamming. I'm gonna have to put this in like 1.7x speed. Still going, and then he's gonna cock the fist back from Mars. You know, this is the part when the villain's supposed to be like, but Cell is just flexing. He's showing off the biceps to the crowd. That's crazy. And he already knew Goku was there the whole time, and he's smiling. I've rarely seen that. Then he's gonna headbutt. Cell was different, man. Get out of it. But yeah, man, Cell was a different type of villain. Goku is charging up the classic Kamehameha. Frame activity. That's what I love to see. And then Cell's just gonna smack this out the way. Classic teleport again. And he's gonna punch the same spot as last time. And you can tell it did some damage, yo. Look at Cell's face. Look at the slow-mo. Look at the clean hook. That's on the chin. And then Cell is gonna do a primal double hammer fist. Goku's gonna hit the ground and just look at the force. Goku's gonna throw up the X and power up. And I'm not gonna lie to you, he's doing a little too much if you ask me. The posing, the red, look at what he's doing. Shocked Piccolo, astonished Piccolo. They got Vegeta looking real envious. He's still going, by the way. Changed the whole color system. Cell just looking at him, watching him flicker. Cell is just not gonna sit here and take this though. He's gonna go power up for power up. Power off. And he's not going to do nearly as much. Look at him. Look at same aura size and everything. Goku's going to get close and start chatting. Comes down with an elbow. Man, get him out of here. Classic teleport behind. Just look at the neck action. And he's going to make Cell back.
One thing they did a lot in this fight was Goku basically, you know, it's not teleportation, but it's like him moving so fast that he vanishes out of there and then ends up behind him. He did that a lot in the fight. They both pretty much did it, but especially Goku, he did where Cell's gonna attack him and then he ends up behind him and then hits him in the back. And then there was at one point they were both just going back and forth where they were doing that. And I remember in early Dragon Ball when Goku did that to Master Roshi, he's like, I'm gonna do after image technique. He's like, I'm gonna do a double after image technique. And then Goku's like, I'm gonna do a triple after image technique. And they would just keep on doing that. But at this point, they were just going going back and forth throughout the entire fight, which I always think it's cool to see when they can, like, you know, just vanish and out of attacks and come back in and out. And it's just cool to see because in the fight, it's like basically the opponent can be anywhere throughout the fight and hit them at any time. So it's very dangerous, and it's just a cool technique to look like somebody trying to punch them and then they vanish out of there and then they end up in another spot. So I think they did that really good, and they did that quite a bit in this arc, but they also did it really good in this arc because that technique is shown throughout most animes, but I think they did it the best in Dragon Ball when in this arc itself.
Bounce off the ground. He almost made him bounce off the pillar too. He had to stop. Goku is flexing the neck games. I'm gonna have to pause this right here. Goku tried to elbow and he grabbed the fist of Cell, and Cell's trying to punch and grab the forearm. Alright, we're gonna break all this down. High block. Bring the arm down so you can block again. Goku's not even gonna move that arm. He's gonna try to punch. Cell probably blocked it. They gonna repeat the frames again. Then he's gonna kick him in the shin crisply. It's gonna make Cell get off balance. Look, he's falling. And as he's falling, Goku is saying, this punch, this would have been crazy. But failure. If that hit would have connected, Cell would have been. This part was upside down. I made it right side up just so we can see what's going on. Look at that elbow. He lifts up the elbow so he could just change the direction of the punch. Switch sides as well. He's gonna grab the fist with the left. But Goku, how you gonna let him grab two of your fists though? Back to back as well. Another rush in. Goku's gonna try a head kick, block. To the gut, to the head, clash, knees, front kick, toe act. Look at the toe action on Cell. You're gonna see some more toe activity from Cell, don't worry. Look at the form on the flips too. Another rush in. Cell comes in with the big boot. Goku's really getting toed out. Just imagine you fight somebody wearing these and they're using the Cell toe arts. I'm giving up. Now look at Cell's body. Look at the position it's in. The back hits the ground. Feet in the air is crazy, by the way. And then Cell is gonna pop up out of nowhere. Nah, they thought they was slick with it. And Goku's about to enter a stance, cool as hell. Then we're gonna see Cell flexing the cells. First on the list is Tien. And you're gonna see Cell doing all these boss movements. And Cell is gonna fly right past Goku, tell him to feel the wind. Why he slide in the frame like that? Goku's gonna dodge two punches to the left. Then he's gonna block with his right. I don't know what the other hand is doing. Is he blocking? Is he punching? I don't know. Look at him mugging the camera though. And he grabbing the knee. Double palm. Stop the front and the back punches. Dodge the kick and look at it. Block the knee with the forearm and block the punch with the tricep. Two hits blocked with the same arm. That's excellence. Y'all saw him block with the left. Firstly, look at the toe action again on Cell. Then Goku's gonna block the finger attack. Then they're gonna repeat the frame some more. This may look similar to the other sequence, but they added this. Goku dodging the finger. Elbow. Headbutt. He's gonna block both of the hits. Can't really see it. Then he's gonna grab the knee. Look at him putting his hand on the knee. Repeat the sequence a little. Stop! Yo, why did these two Cells not do anything? But now they choose to jump him. Look at him. They could have just snuck him. He's gonna block the strike with the fist. Then just look at the chaos, bro. I don't even know what's happening. He's gonna use the shoulder to just change the trajectory of the punch. Repeat it some more. Damn! Came in with the elbow. Look at the bend on the body. That's your goat, though. Then we get the classic double punch. Then Cell is gonna grab the... Actually, now he's grabbing the hair. He's gonna knee him in the face. Perfect.
Okay, so that's really good. The knees and stuff, it is like more like Muay Thai, because in Muay Thai they use knees a lot. I like how he grabbed his hair and pulled him in for the knee there. So that's really good. The knees and elbows. One thing I wanted to talk about the elbows itself in Muay Thai. One thing they teach you is for like a more like I think it was like ancient or military one. I did watch this one like kind of like mini documentary video on it on YouTube. This one guy, he went to Thailand to see like the Thai fighters, and then he went to like a more local area or like less like a more urban area, you know. And in that area, he was training with this one guy who's like a ex-military dude, and he was teaching more aggressive Muay Thai. And one thing they were showing was blocking like punches with your elbows, because you can break somebody's hands and their fingers. It's hard to do, but they were showcasing the aggressiveness, and it was was actually working pretty well. So the blocks with the elbows is a very Muay Thai thing to do, and the knee strikes is in like other fighting styles like kickboxing, but mainly in Muay Thai, especially the grab and like, you know, it's called the Muay Thai clinch, and then pulling him in. So that was pretty cool to see him do. And then the kick to the body, that was also nice that he did. One thing though you see a lot in Dragon Ball and other animes and stuff like that is characters doing this X block thingy. In real fighting, it doesn't really work that well. Nobody does an X block in a real fight because it's like, what is it protecting? Most of your face is exposed. Your shoulders are just going to be protected. Your chest is, I guess, a little bit right there, but then your body right here, your gut and stuff is going to get hit. So usually if you're new one, do this to like block the sides if you don't want to get hit by a hook. Do this if you don't want to get hit by front, or hold it down like this, like peekaboo stance. Or you could also do this. If you've seen Hajime no Ippo, they did this. This was like also a block you can do, or you can do this like a Philly shell style. Sorry if you guys can't see it. It's like a Philly shell. So there's different type of blocks you can do. Mostly it's like this is the block that usually people do. And if it's like in bare knuckle boxing, you can't have gloves really to protect your face. So usually they would do this. So it's like less refined looking, but this X block thingy is just not real. And I just wanted to say that because I see that all the time in anime and Dragon Ball especially, where they do that X block thingy, it doesn't work. So just so you know, if you are, you know, if you ever get into a fight or whatever, whether it's in the gym or in the street, never block like this. This is not going to protect shit. Block like this, block like this. Do the Philly shell if you know how to, you know, fight like that if you're a little more technical of a fighter. But don't do this. Like I said, it wouldn't really work.
Technique on it and everything. Then he's gonna do a 4-way special beam cannon. Goku just gonna sit there and hold on. Frame activity. I don't know what that even is. Just look at it. And Goku's just gonna eat the 4-man cannon. And what you're gonna see next is probably the most devious tactic Goku has ever implemented in a fight. First of all, show off the hairline. He's gonna check to see where Cell is behind him and whoop! Damn! Now that's crazy. And look at the cock back on it. Then he's gonna get Cell back from the knee earlier with a knee of his own. Then the next Cell is gonna get a hook, kick, 2-piece. That's unfortunate. The knee. Goku really took advantage of the surprise attack. He didn't let Cell breathe once. And I'm gonna need you to stack up for me as well. This is an example.
I wanted to stop there because, like I said, I don't want to just talk about, like, you know, the cool stuff that you see in these fights, talking about specifically just Dragon Ball in general. I also want to talk a little bit about real fighting, because even though anime and comic books and all these other stuff, they take some stuff from real fighting, they also have some stuff that don't really work. Obviously, they're more supposed to be ridiculous and not meant to be taken as serious, but there's still some stuff that you can learn. And what Goku did right there with the four cells chasing him was perfect. That is a smart tactic to do. If you ask any martial artist or actual person who trains in real martial arts, not some of these pseudo ones, they will tell you if you have multiple assailants attacking you, whether they have a weapon or not, run away, get away from them. Or if you can't get away, let's say you're trying to run away but they're gonna catch up to you or block you off, the only thing to do is to basically line them up and take them out. So what Goku did right there was perfect. He basically had 4 enemies after him, so there's too many people, so he started flying away. Basically you can equate this to, like, in real life as you just running away, but you're running away and you have 4 people right behind you. Now you know that no matter how much you run, they're going to catch up to you. So what do? You basically, instead of just running away completely, you stop them and you close in the distance and you try to take them out. Now, how does this technique work in, like, fight against multiple people? It's perfect, like I said, what Goku did. First, he ran away until he had the assailants chasing him in a line. Once when he got them lined up, then he closed in the distance, went in quick, hit them with a couple of powerful strikes to take them out, and then went from one to the next to take them all out, and then basically slump them. That is the perfect technique to do. So in his way, he flew, stopped, went back in quick, hit with a couple like punches, elbows, and knees. And in a real fight, if you have, let's say, multiple people chasing you, you run until you get into a more narrow area where they can't, circle around you or be around you. They're more like in a linear path. That way you can go pick them off one by one or one or two of them and attack them that way. So that's a perfect strategy to do. Run until you get them in a line. Then once you get them in a line, close the distance quick, change up on them because they're not going to expect you to come back. Change up on them, hit them with a powerful shot, either a punch, an elbow, a kick, something powerful that will take them out, but hit them with only a couple of shots. Don't go in with a whole combination. If you're expecting to throw a bunch of shots at somebody, you're not going to really be able to, because you're not going to take them down quick enough, and then the rest of them are going to come around and come up on you and then all attack you at once. So you want to throw a couple of powerful shots in, knock them out, and then go to the next so they can't catch up on you altogether, right? So that's the main key thing. So Goku did smart right there, where he went in and he hit them with powerful shots, and the fact that you're running away, you come back, they're not going to expect you to come back. So usually if somebody's like guarding themselves or defending themselves, they are harder to knock out, even if you hit them hard. But if somebody's not expecting it, it's easier to knock them out. So he made them expect he made the other cells expect that he was just going to run away, but he was doing that to basically bring them in so he can hit them while their guard was down. So if you're in a situation like that, hopefully not. Like I said, run away, get a linear position, try to get them one by one. Then while their guard is down, come back at them, hit them with a couple of hard shots, punch, whatever, knock them down, go to the next guy, keep on doing it until you knock them all down. And if you can seriously knock them out, try to get the cops. If you can't, just still run away, get them down or hurt, and then run away to safety, because then they'll be too damaged. So he did perfectly there, and he actually has a strategy that you can implement in real life against multiple assailants, just in a different, more unique way.
Of unintentional Dragon Ball comedy. Cell gonna pull out the disc, the saucer, the slicer, whatever you want to call it, and just listen to what Krillin has to say about it.
That disc, is that mine?
Now listen, I'm not gonna hate on Krillin too much because his destructo disc is actually fire. It's just funny how he saw him use Tien's ability and he thought that he was next up. And after the crazy selling he was doing in this saga, like, it's just not a good look for him. And then look at this nonsense sellers. Now whose cells are these? Whose cells are these? There is no need for all of this movement, bro. You can't tell me these motions actually do stuff. This one right here actually kind of makes sense. Like he's chasing and then lifted up diagonally. Like that's kind of clean. He just put one arm up and it's still chasing Goku. So like what was the point of the... Never mind. Now when you first saw this, you know it was kind of shocking. You thought Goku got sliced. But don't worry, bro. He's still in it. Cell is gonna pull out the crazy Kamehameha. Everybody was scared. Goku said, you charge up that much energy, the planet is wraps. It's crazy how Goku just doesn't punch him right here. But hey, Vegeta was like, it's over. But before he throws it out, pause. The black and white with the blue coloring is sensational. Goku gonna pull out some big brain move, gonna fly up, telling him to chase me. Then he's gonna wait until he's completely almost engulfed by the Kamehameha. Then a smooth instant transmission. That's what we call martial arts mastery. Hit him crisply while he was unaware. Goku's gonna look left. Elbow to the temple, clean. Goku should get his hit back. Goku fiending for that get back. Look at how fast he turned around, still got elbowed in the neck. And just look at the smile on Cell. Make him get on all fours. He jumps up and the slow rise. He's gonna land like this. Dude should be injured, but the martial arts mastery, he absorbs it. You see the ground moving like that, you know what time it is. Hold on. Whoop! Look at Goku with the movement. Right. Hit him with a left. Right again. Left again. Right again. And then a left. And then a right. Again. And then a left. Again. Hit him with another right. Hit him with another left. Then we got a hit stick. Frame action on top of that. I forgot to show y'all Sweat Icolo, Perspire Icolo, YMCA Icolo. Yo, I got a theory right here that Goku bit him. Just look at the face reaction, like he's biting him off screen. Cell is gonna dodge the hit. Look.
I like the movements between him moving in the ring and then him attacking him, then like dodging, like moving, using his hands to jump off and all the other stuff. It looked pretty cool. He had a couple of cool stuff that he was doing. Also, doing the kip up with his shoulder instead of having his hand to do it. He did it off of his back, just dropping off. I thought that was pretty cool. The whole reason that he waited for the attack to nearly hit him to do that, it was he was timing it out. So one, he had to time out the attack to come close enough so he can catch Cell off guard. Because if he did it too early, then after Cell fired the thing, he could have turned around and blocked. So he was waiting for him to think that he got hit by it. Then he would do the instant transmission so he can catch him off guard. So that was a smart strategy by Goku. He was literally timing when it would get close enough, where it was close enough to look like it was going to hit him, but not close enough where it did hit him, so he can turn around and hit Cell. Because if he did it prematurely, he would have, ended up basically giving Cell a tell, and Cell would have been able to turn around. Even though he has teleportation, we've seen other characters that have teleportation. When they end up behind somebody, that person can predict their move and hit them. So Goku knew he would be able to predict his move. So to be smarter, he timed it out where even if he predicts his move, he can get him. And he came with a clean kick to the head, and then Cell returning with that elbow to the back of the neck. That was severe. That made my neck hurt. That looked painful as shit. So I like the fighting in here. The back and forth is pretty cool. So yeah, the movements in this were pretty cool. They did some really amazing things with it. A lot of back and forth. I will say they did repeat quite a bit of the frames a little bit more in this fight. But like I said, it's all due to the manga and stuff like that. So remember, this was decades ago. At this point, we don't know why they extended out. A lot of times it's just because the manga wasn't, caught up at that point, so they had to extend out a little bit longer. So that might have been the case, or maybe there just wasn't as much in the actual fight. Because a lot of times the manga, when you look at it and the fights they have in the manga, they're a lot shorter than they are in the anime. Sometimes that's good, sometimes I don't like it as much because it really depends. Because sometimes the anime just repeats the same frames or extends it out and have parts in the fight where they weren't really necessary. But I also feel like it does add on to it a lot, because if you were to just adapt 100% the fights from the manga to anime format, I bet you the fights wouldn't be as iconic or as interesting as a lot of you guys think. Because I'm being honest, the manga, I do like it, but one of my gripes with the manga is they take out a lot of the cool stuff that the anime added in. And obviously the anime has added in a lot of stuff that was not necessary and not really wanted, but there's also a lot of cool stuff they added in. And if we just went fully through the the manga, adapting that, I bet a lot of you guys would be disappointed. So this fight probably was a lot shorter than that one. I haven't read the manga in a while, so I probably forgot all the stuff that happened between him and Cell.
Look how calm he looked. Then he gonna try to elbow the nostrils. Goku ducked it. They got Goku looking crazy. Cell about to hit a downward elbow. Look at Goku dodging, then hitting an uppercut. Cell dodged it as well. It's neck and neck. Repeat the frames. And we not even on the crazy parts yet. Block, push up, palm. And look at the meme mug action on Goku. Hit the fist out the way, then a high block. It's neck and neck. And we gonna repeat the frames. The movement, the speed. I can already see the comments. This is the part of Goku versus Cell that everybody talks about. Pay attention to the way Goku just gets low, dodges that. He dodges Cell again, and look at him just staring in his eyes. Then Goku's gonna throw out a kick, and look at how Cell dodged, just spreading the legs. I've said it before, but when the noses are sharp in Dragon Ball that the animation is crazy. Again, look at the camera work. Goku blocked this, but man, you know what? Get that guard out of here. Now his face is butt naked, and bro, look at the jab spam. Nah, the Cell bag is deep. Don't tell me he got the Hitman style. Don't tell me he got Mashiba cells. Don't tell me. Nah, he was spamming that. That's hilarious. Goku ain't even going to teleport. He just going to duck underneath that. Kick him out of here. No instant transmission. Pure speed. Cock it back. Yo, look at how crispy Goku look. Double hammer fist. Goku miss. Cell miss. Goku miss. Look at this, man. Cell miss again. Goku miss. The definition of neck and neck.
Like I said, in this fight, they did this quite a bit. They did the vanishing technique quite a bit. They were like, it's like if you guys ever played, Budokai Tenkaichi, the games 2 and 3 and stuff like that, and I think also Raging Blast 1 and 2, people did that move all the time. You would see people just going back and forth, just trying to punch each other and then dodging. So that's a very common thing in Dragon Ball, but especially in this fight. And it's a common thing in anime in general, but I think this fight did it the best. Like, the back and forth between them, like, it was just crazy. Some people can say it's just spamming, but it is a cool move, and it looks nice, and it is very, useful, obviously, in their fight, so it makes sense that they would use it quite a bit. This knee to the gut that he's doing to Cell is also very iconic. You see this a lot in, like, pictures and still frames that they have of, the fight. It is usually this one where Goku kneeing him, because you can just see the amount of damage he was able to do there. But the back and forth stuff, so cool, with the punches phasing in through their bodies and stuff at their after image that they left, is just so dope and clean. I also do like how he mentioned Hajime no Ippo there with all the the jabs that he was throwing, because he was throwing a bunch of jabs in there. And there was something else near, but yeah, the movement speed, the explosions from everything, like, you know, all the attacks that they were doing. There's a lot of good stuff right here. A lot of, you know, beautiful looking things in this fight. It's just a phenomenal fight. Like I said, I don't even like the Cell Saga that much personally, but I think that was pretty cool what they did with all the vanishing attacks.
Bend on the body. Look at the distance. And then they're going to clash iconically. Iconic clash with the... Y'all know what I'm about to say. And then they're going to continue the speed game. He misses, the other one misses. And then we're going to see Goku spinning right here. Look at the amount of spins on the kick just for it to be a front kick. All of that must have been a diversion or something, the tactics. Yo, speaking of tactics, this is crazy. Look at the diversion. He makes all four of them act like they're going to punch him. Look at Goku looking around, trying to see which one is going to hit him. And where does the hit come from? Above. The tactics, the strategy. Y'all sleep, man. I told y'all the cell bag was deep. Goku was on the tip. Pause. And then Goku's on the edge, and he dodged that first hit. Then he dodged this head kick. Then he's going to avoid this other punch masterfully. And then they're going to repeat the frames. Goku's still on the edge, as I said. He's going to start spinning. Flip over the sweep. Unnecessary flips, kicks him. He on the edge. They gonna land. This part right here is it's so iconic. And before that, Goku knows exactly where Cell was gonna be.
The movements here are so fucking beautiful. I love how Goku's like tippy-toed on it, and he's just spinning around. Just showcases his great balance, you know, his acrobatic skills on top of it. And then him, like, you know, phasing through there and then coming in, and then Goku noticing him, kicking him, and then when he goes for his punch, he dodges it out of there. It's such cool movements. Like I said, they don't a lot of people look at Dragon Ball and they're like, look at how much better the martial arts was there. But it's like the Z has good martial arts there too. It's just that they don't fucking, like, you know, explain everything. It's not like in Baki or, you know, Kengan Ashura, where they basically say, oh, they're doing this and they're going on every little thing. They just let the animation do the work instead of having it explained. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, because I love Baki and I love this season of Baki, the first half and the second half. But the one thing I do also kind of not like is when a lot of these shows have, you know, either characters or the narrator going on like specifically on and detailed on every attack and every strike. Is like, it's not necessary. Just let the, you know, let the animation and the art do the talking. Because, you know, one of the things that we hear quite a bit in, you know, movies and TV is show, don't tell. And that's the one thing that Z did. They were showing more than telling. And I feel like a lot of the fans, they give, you know, Dragon Ball Z flag for that, but it's like they're not babying you around, so why are you giving it shit for that? Not saying that Dragon Ball was like just trying to be for idiots, but it was like the early stages of their fight, so it makes more sense that they'll go more through explaining what they're doing, whereas in Z, they already, you know, mastered their ability and their craft, that it's to the point where they don't need to, they're not shocked anymore. They're not like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he did this or that. So they don't need to emphasize on it. And like I said, it really depends on what you want. Do you want them to specifically emphasize on every move that they make, or do you want the animation and the art to do the, you know, showcasing on what's happening for you? So it really depends. Do you want them to explain it, or do you want just for it to show you the stuff and then you know, picking it up with your own eyes itself? Also, I do want to mention a lot in this fight, there's been a lot of dodges, a lot of misses. There's been a couple of clean contacts. Mostly it's been blocks or dodges or just, you know, evading or just missing. And that's how kind of is in real fighting. If you watch boxing or MMA and stuff like that, a lot of the strikes you see people getting thrown at each other, they either miss, they're either getting dodged or getting blocked. It's very few that get hit fully on. There's even, if you watch like boxing or MMA and stuff like UFC, they have like a thing where it's like how many strikes were thrown and how many significant strikes were there. So it's and landed. So there's like how many strikes were thrown. There's a ton of strikes thrown, and usually the strikes that are landed are a lot smaller than the amount of strikes that are thrown. And then there's even smaller amount of strikes that are significant. The significant ones are basically clean hits where they aren't blocked, or they've had full like impact and contact on it, not just like little taps like this where like I didn't block it but I get tapped. That's not a significant strike, that's just a strike. So this is also cool, and it's like I said, the reason why I want to make these videos is to talk about how these apply to real life and real fighting, because in real fighting a lot of times you want to make a perfect clean throw, but a lot of times our shots, like our punches and our kicks and elbows and knees, can be very sloppy at times, especially when you get fatigued. So it's not going to look as crisp or hit as clean as we want it to. So in MMA and boxing, any of these fighting sports, you see a lot of them throwing a lot of shots, usually making a small amount that contact and even smaller amount that have a significant damage. So it makes sense that that happens in this case, where most of them are getting blocked and only a few are getting through, and most of the ones that are getting through aren't doing that much damage except for a couple here and there.
He missed. Damn. Toe to the cheek. Goku flies up, Cell vanishes. Cell said, yo, I'm tired of fighting on this, man. Get it out of here. Just stuck his hand out and the entire area gone. You already know how iconic and historical this scenery is. Pull up, beam action. Hey. Hey. Now these dudes gonna have a beam battle, a beam off. We don't care about that because we got Cape Crusade Icalo. I will protect you, Icalo. Look at this block right here. Using the other arm as support. Cell got too much force behind it. Clash, clash, clash. And then we gonna open up your hand so I can pull my fingers through. Just stare into the eyes and then... Man, the camera's shaking. Hold that. Hold that. We gonna break this all down. Look at the dodge from Goku. Move to the left. Lean back and dodge the uppercut. Then Goku's gonna throw it straight, and look at how low Cell getting. Cell is gonna step back. Hey, what King Sean used to say? Step back with the saves. Then Goku's gonna duck the punch. Uppercut Cell out of range. And then they're gonna repeat it some more. It's beautiful. Hold that. Nah, look at Goku's hair right here. And Cell grazed him on the cheek. Dodge. Uppercut. Hold that. That's right on the chin. And bro, look at how good Goku looks here, man. But this next part is comedy. Hold that. Uppercut. You know what? Hit him with it again. Hey, that's y'all goat though. Cell just leaning back. Cell looking crispy blocking right here. Hold that. Then lift him up with it and combo with the left. Get him out of here. Everybody knows what's coming next. You can just feel the desperation. All of these blasts gonna hit. Big bomb, and this should jog your memory. Goku flies up. Now look at the form on the flying. You think he a superhero. Now this part is just hilarious because I don't know why Cell is shocked. Like, he's like, Goku, don't do this. Like, you were about to do the same thing a couple eps ago. But hey, instant transmission, Kamehameha, right to the grill. Crisp! Took his entire upper regions off. And then we're gonna see Cell, well done. Actually crispy. But we got Hashirama Icalo. Piccolo Cell's gonna heal everything. The end of the fight is near. It's on the horizon. He's gonna cock it back. Spinning heel kick. I don't know when Cell got airborne to do this jumping kick. Hold on, let's enhance. Look at the form on the kick. That's terrible. But he's gonna block the punch with the knee. Now that's martial arts excellence. Goku probably grabbed the fist here. And just look at the lean back from Cell, bro. Excellent. And then again, use the knee to block, bro. He's knee cheesing. He's height cheesing. He knows he's taller than Goku, so he can cheese. And then we got right, kick. Whoop! Block. There is absolutely no way you can't get hyped. Look at that. They're punching and destroying things in the distance. Where the...
Okay, that was cool. See, it shows like even when they don't contact, the shockwave of the power is so strong that it blows apart like the rocks nearby it. That's also a cool way to illustrate their power. One thing I really like about the combat and stuff that they do Dragon Ball, especially in Z, that they do very well, is one, they have a lot of good shots that are like money shots that look beautiful, that you can, put like on wallpaper on your phone, or just stuff that is iconic. So they know how to make iconic money looking shots. They know how to make cool choreography, a lot of back and forth, use a lot of their techniques in different ways and also like the same way. But also the one thing that they do really good in Dragon Ball, they do good in other animes, but especially in Dragon Ball, is showcasing the level of power that they have. Every time you see these fights, you see how fast they are, how fluid they are, how technically sound they are, how destructive they are. They show it in a very good way, and that's really hard to do in these fights because you have to illustrate not only the skill and the choreography, but the amount of power that they're able to dish out. Because unlike regular fights with regular characters, that all you have to do is showcase the bit of the impact impact that they do when they hit each other, and you know how clean the fight looks. But when it comes to superpowered characters, you have to do that, but also demonstrate their absurd powers and showcase that, you know, these are superpowered beings fighting, not just two regular people. So there's a lot of cool stuff about that. And the one thing I can describe this fight as is being iconic. Those shots, all the shots, you guys all remember it. And this is what really makes these fights more better and memorable, when you have specific parts in it. Even if the whole fight wasn't too crazy, if they have some specific parts that are really nice, it really speaks to you and stays out. I forgot what the word is. It sticks out to you. That's what I meant. Sorry. It really sticks out to you because you're looking at it like, wow, this literally is like, I remember this, I remember that. This is very memorable. So it makes you remember the fight a lot more, even if most of the fight wasn't that great. Though, in this case, most of the fight was really great with those on top of it. Those are definitely best way to attract people's attention to the fight itself.
Power scalers that kick, punch, kick, kick, punch, punch, kick. Then they're going to repeat the sequence for a little. It's excellence, but you can smell the end. Punch, block, dodge. Can't really see what's going on. Goku kick, whoosh! He tried to rip his head off with that one, but Goku getting low, blocked the kick. And then the repeating. Goku's gonna try the most telegraphable kick ever. Look at how far he's cocking that kick back. Hey, that's y'all goat though. Cell gonna throw out a beam. Look at the fear on Cell. Hook, clean. He gonna try that spinning heel kick again. Hell no. Hell no. Now Cell is gonna do what he did, and then that's y'all goat though. He gonna try to stomp him in the neck. And I think for the fourth time, Cell and Goku gonna have this disappear battle. He's fighting a mirror of himself. It makes sense. All you're gonna see is boom. And then Goku's gonna fly in and you're gonna see he got socked. That is crazy. Cell gonna block the punch. He's gonna block the other punch and stop the kick with the knee. I have no clue what Goku is doing here. I don't know if he's kneeing the knee. I have no clue. Cell gonna dodge this. Then Cell gonna try a crazy uppercut kick. Then they gonna, Hey, but Goku is mad though. He's gonna rush in. He's pissed. He's gonna violate. Wow, that's y'all go. Cocking it back in his face. Fly away from me and bury yourself in the rubble. Dude is completely gone now. That's crazy. And this spam stuff is just crazy, bro. Like, it happens for so long. They cut to 60 different people while he's still spamming. Oh my God. Never mind. It's worth it because this frame is one of the best in DB. The best part of the entire Cell saga, Vegeta and Piccolo just standing there, not even moving. But yeah, this is the end of the fight. It's over. Goku gives up. We know what happens next. Hey, this vid gonna be long as hell, but one of my favorites.
Okay, I was gonna end the video right there, or end like this and then go back to just talking about it. But Goku strikes attempted 259, strikes connected 35, 14%. Cell strikes attempted 385, strikes connected 63. Like I said, that's how they do it in real fights, where they do like, or like, you know, fights in like sports like boxing, MMA and stuff like that. They basically count the amount of attempts and the amount of strikes connected, but they also do significant strikes on top of that. And they have a percentage. Usually the best around, they do it around like 80%, you know, accuracy. I think, have you guys heard of this boxer named Naoya Inoue? He has one of the highest, you know, accuracy rating in boxing, and his is around like 85 and stuff like that. Now these lower numbers, it's not always to this level. Sometimes it's around like 25 to 35%, you know, accuracy and attacks connected, hits connected. But in this case, they're a lot faster, and they do have techniques like that where they can vanish and stuff. And usually they're blocking perfectly because they're trying to showcase how great their defense is. And I will say Dragon Ball characters are more defensively sound than offensively sound, because they do a lot of stuff that defensively they're good at protecting themselves. So this is a good indication of that showcases that they're very well defensively themselves. Like, it's just so cool to see, and it's cool to go into it because there's so many interesting things and concepts you can talk about when it comes to their fights. So that was the end of Fanjito's Goku vs. Cell with straight boxing. Yeah, that was fun. I think that was pretty cool. Like I said, There's just so many cool concepts about this. The fight itself, it's funny because there's one thing that was going through my head that I want to talk about in the ending, and that's the fact that, like I said, a lot of people complain about Dragon Ball just being purely energy, attacking, show, because the original Dragon Ball was mostly physical attacks. Most of the characters didn't have enough energy to fire off countless attacks, like energy attacks like Kamehamehas, or other techniques like, I guess, Dodon Ray and stuff. They had a few energy attacks and they didn't use it as much. They did use it sometimes quite a bit, but not as much, and usually it was more for like more versatile ways like of movements and stuff like that. So it was a little more creative. But a lot of people, the complaint is they use too many energy attacks and not enough physical attacks. But that's not really true. If you see this fight in general, it was one of the most iconic fights, and it had barely to no energy attacks. Yes, there was definitely some, self-firing his Kamehameha, Goku doing it back to him with the, instant transmission on top of it, and then, Goku firing a bunch of ki blasts, and then even self-firing some ki blasts, and even the flying saucer attack that he did. But most of the fight was purely just straight hands. It was punches, kicks, elbows, and knees, and I see a lot of people, like I say, not only Dragon Ball fans, but Dragon Ball YouTubers constantly saying, oh, Dragon Ball Z just has a bunch of energy attacks. And it's like, yeah, I mean, they're going to be way more powerful. They would use more powerful attacks like energy attacks than physical attacks. But that is also a gross overstatement of, what is the case. Because in reality, they're not just purely just firing off energy attacks. They're also doing a lot of physical attacks. And I feel like a lot of people, don't give Dragon Ball the credit for it, because they're like, oh, it's just a bunch of massive attacks. They're firing off energy blasts, barely any, punches and kicks. Look at this fight. When you go frame by frame, the thing about our memories is when we see something, we kind of change, reality, the perception of reality of what it is, and then we go based off of what we perceive. So if we think that there was quite a bit of energy attacks, we're just going to assume that the fight was mostly, energy attacks. But when you look at the reality, like going frame by frame, you will notice that no, that's not the case. There was some energy attacks, but mainly they mostly were doing physical attacks. So we do have that. It's just that our brains, we complain quite a bit as, people. So when we see stuff that we don't like or we want more of something else, we act like that stuff that we got wasn't enough. So even though we, got quite a bit of, physical attacks, we want to see more of it. So then we act like, oh, we didn't see enough of it, so that means they didn't do it at all. That's not true. That's just what we thought because we wanted more of it, and we basically tricked ourselves to thinking that. So that was pretty cool. This was a really amazing fight. I really enjoyed it. I like his frame by frame stuff. Like I said, it showcases the, the detail to the fighting, the great choreography, the showing of, their level of power, and it also disproves a lot of the arguments that people make about Dragon Ball and their fighting, that, oh, it's just repetitive, it's, it's just nothing to the fights, or they use a lot of energy attacks and they don't do physical attacks that much. It's like, yes, there's some validity to those statements, but I do think it's over-exaggerated to the point where it's a lot of people making a caricature out of it because they don't want to give Dragon Ball any praise. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and stay tuned for next time.